Making sure. All right, I see everyone. Okay. Sorry, just wait. Okay, good evening. The City of Boston Zoning Board of Appeal hearing for March 16th, 2023 is now in session. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with the applicable provisions of the open meeting law, including the updated provisions enacted by the legislature last year. The new law allows the board to continue its practice of holding virtual meetings until March 2023. This hearing of the board is being held remotely via the Zoom webinar event platform. This event is also being recorded. In order to ensure this hearing of the board is open to the public, members of the public may access this hearing through telephone and video conferencing. The information for connecting to this hearing is listed on today's hearing agenda, which is posted on the public notices page of the city's website, boston.gov. Members of the public will enter the virtual hearing as attendees, which means you will not see yourself on the screen and you will be muted throughout unless administratively unmuted when asked to comment. Board members, applicants, and their attorneys or representatives will participate in the hearing as panelists, and they will appear alongside the presentation materials when speaking. Panelists are strongly encouraged to keep video on while presenting to the board. As with our in-person meetings, comments in support will be followed by comments in opposition. The order of comments is as follows: elected officials, representatives of elected officials, and members of the public. The chair may limit the number of people called upon to offer comment and the time for commenting as time constraints require. For that reason, the board prefers to hear from members of the public who are most impacted by a project. That is, those individuals who live closest to the project. If you wish to comment on an appeal, please click the raise hand button along the bottom of your screen in the Zoom webinar platform. Click it again and your hand should go down. When the host sees your hand, you will receive a request to unmute yourself. Select yes, and you should be able to talk. If you are connected to the hearing by phone, please press *9 to raise and lower your hand. You must press *6 to unmute yourself after you receive the request from the host. Those called upon to comment will be asked to state their name and address first, and then provide their comment. In the interest of time and to ensure that you have enough time to do so, please raise your hand as soon as Mr. Stembridge reads the address into the record. Do not raise your hand before the relevant address is called, or the meeting host will not know to call on you at the appropriate time. These instructions will be repeated throughout the hearing. All right, Mr. Stembridge.
Yes, present.
Ms. Pinato.
Present.
Excellent. I will turn it over to you, Mr. Stembridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For this evening, we will start off with case BOA 1387141, the address being 436 Western Avenue. Is the applicant or their representative present?
Hi, Frank. Oh, okay, 1 second. Let's say them. Mr. Singh, is that you? Are you here to give presentation for this project? Okay.
Yes, present.
Go ahead. Can you briefly explain what you're looking to do?
I'm sorry?
Mr. Singh.
Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we just need you to introduce yourself, put your name, your address into the record, and briefly what you're looking to do.
Yeah, so.
Oh no, did he disappear?
Yeah, I think he did.
I think he dropped off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Can you give him permission again?
Mr. Singh, you can, I sent a request to unmute you. Yeah, you're all set. Go ahead.
All right. My name is Navdeep Singh, and I own the 436 Western Ave. It's Big Daddy's Pizza in Brighton, Mass. And I'm actually a new ownership since June 6, 2022. And everything is same thing. I'm not going to change anything else. It's just the same menus. Everything else is same. Pretty much just the ownership. It from the previous owner was Steve, and right now it's going to be me. It's Navdeep Singh.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the board?
No, I mean, I don't have
No,
a
from
question.
the, sorry, from the board. Your presentation was straightforward.
Yeah.
No more question. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
May I have public testimony?
Yes, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Frank Mendoza here, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, Austin Brighton Liaison. Our office had the applicant conduct outreach to abutters as well as to the Austin Civic as well as to the Austin Civic Association, and noted no significant opposition. At this time, we'd like to defer to the judgment of the board. Thank you.
Jessica, any other raised hands?
I have no raised hands at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Pinato.
Yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck, Mr. Singh.
Thank you very much.
Next case is BOA 1359819. The address being 21 Capon Street. Is the applicant or representative present?
Yes, present.
Can you introduce yourself and put your address into the record and just let us know what you're proposing?
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Eileen Rosa from Rosa Design and Construction located in Milton, Mass. And I am the residential designer representing the homeowner of this project. The intention is to change the occupancy from single family to two-family dwelling to accommodate her mother in one of the units. And basically the house is an existing 2.5-story single family home on a pre-existing non-conforming lot size of 3,752 square feet. And the intention is basically to propose a approximately 22 by 17 addition at the rear of the house to be able to change the occupancy from single family to two-family dwelling. Basically having the first unit, unit 1, located on the first floor with 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms with a total of 922 square feet of living space. And unit 2 will be located at the second floor and attic area. This unit will have a total of 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms for a total of 1,303 square feet of living space. The intention is to demolish a pre-existing addition of 12 by 11 feet and a existing deck on the first floor of 11 by 19 feet to come back with this new addition of 22 by 17 on the first floor and second floor. In addition, which is basically one of the violations as well, the excessive building height. The intention is to add a dormer, or basically looks like an extension of an existing dormer on the right side of the house towards Dyer Court, to be able to add that extra living space in the attic and have those 2 bedrooms with the bathroom up there. I'm open for any questions.
Thank you. Ms. Pinato, any questions on the plans?
Are there any landscaping plans anticipated?
Not yet, just what's being shown here.
Yeah, have you thought about screening and buffering with your neighbors?
Absolutely, yeah. The intention is to maintain the left side. If you look at the plot plan, there's an existing green space there that we're trying to maintain, and anything related to buffering as needed will definitely work, I'm assuming, with BPDA. Please ignore this schematic site plan. It's showing 2 parking spots. There's only one there existing, and that's the one that is going to stay, by the way.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any more questions.
Thank you. Mr. Stenbridge, any questions?
Not at this time, Madam Chair.
Thank you. With that, may I have public testimony?
Good afternoon, or good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Eric James of the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant for 21 Capon Street held their abutters meeting on September 6, 2022. They met with the Rock Neighborhood Association, which issued a letter of support stating that after reviewing the plans and discussing the plans, and hearing that proper notification was sent to the abutters, Rock has voted to approve the request for support of this renovation project. All in all, we have received 1 letter of support, 0 letters of opposition, and we are kindly deferring our decision to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Murphy, are you speaking on this?
Yes, I'd like to just go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have no additional raised hands.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with BPDA design review. So
Do
the
you wanna-
exterior changes need to be submitted to the agency as well as any kind of, some attention to landscaping and buffering.
Great. May I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Panado,
Yes.
the chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Next, we have case BOA 1382316, the address of 1486 to 1492 Dorchester Avenue. Is the applicant or representative present?
I am the representative of the applicant.
Okay, excellent. Do you want to walk us through real quick?
Sure. Should I say my name again?
Up to Jessica, I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably for the record might make sense.
All right. Okay. So good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Eileen Rosa. I'm from Rosa Design and Construction. In this case, I am the applicant representing the business owner of this proposed nail salon. Unfortunately, she was supposed to be here with me. She's on her way. I guess she's coming late, but anyways, we'll move on. Basically, the intention, as stated in the refusal letter, is to change the occupancy of this existing commercial unit from beauty salon to nail salon. There was no alteration made at the interior of this unit other than cosmetic to accommodate a total of 13 manicure stations. One of these considered a handicap accessible one, and 3 pedicure stations, as well as a waxing area or station. That's all I have to share for now.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
None of
Okay,
the plans seem adequate.
excellent. Thank you. May I have a public testimony?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kevin Tran here from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We received no concerns from the abutters within the 300 feet, and the applicant also met with Fuse Corner Civic Association on December 6th of 2022, and they would like to support this project. At this point, our office would like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have no additional raised hands.
With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
May I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Panado,
Yes.
the chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1411164, with the address being 31 Hallett Davis Street. Is the applicant or representative present?
Yes, Mr. Secretary. Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Ryan Spitz with Adams and Moranci, business address of 168 H Street, first floor, South Boston. With me today are the owners, Caitlin and Joe Renahan. This is a proposal for a full rehab of an existing one family with a proposed vertical addition of a second floor along with an attic and a new farmer's porch. The existing footprint of the building will be maintained. The proposal is located within a 1F 5,000 subdistrict. Lot size is approximately 4,139 square feet. The proposed living space is approximately 3,005 square feet, split between 1,035 square feet on the first floor, 1,035 square feet on the second floor, and 935 square feet within the attic. First floor will consist of an entry foyer, living room, dining room, kitchen, and a half bath. Second floor will consist of a master bedroom, along with 2 additional bedrooms, master bath, and as well as an additional full bath. Third floor will consist of just an open attic space. We have violation for the FAR. We're excessive as we're proposing a 0.73. What is allowed by code is a 0.5. Building height in feet, we are actually compliant. We're under the 35 feet as we're proposing 32 feet. But we're excessive in stories. What is compliant is 2.5 stories. And again, we're proposing 3 stories. We have a violation for the front yard setback. It's approximately 4 feet 5 inches to the beginning of the farmer's porch and approximately 10 feet 6 inches to the dwelling, which is also a pre-existing non-conforming as 15 feet is required by the code. Side yard violation is also a pre-existing non-conforming at 7 feet 7 inches on the right-hand side, but we're over compliancy on the left-hand side of the property. And lastly, the last violation that we have is also another pre-existing non-conforming is the rear yard setback. We're at 17 feet and 7 inches. At this time, I'm going to pause for any questions or comments from the board.
Thank you, Mr. Spitz. Any questions from the board?
No, I think it's clear you're not changing the footprint, right? Just going up on that
Correct.
last story.
Yes, and then the new farmer's porch, which just kind of alternates the actual front yard setback, which was previously non-conforming.
No other questions.
Thank you. With that, may I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information, the community process, ONS held a butters meeting on January 18th. There were some issues with some residents being able to attend with the meeting link, but we were able to connect them with the applicant and get them the information that they requested. Other members of the public that were on that meeting expressed support for the project. The applicant then went on to meet with the Cedar Grove Civic Association, which voted unanimously to support this project. With that, we defer to the judgment of this board. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Murphy?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I know I had sent a letter to you earlier, but I just wanted to go on record to say that I'm in support of this project. One of the most pressing issues our office receives calls about is the rising cost of living in the city of Boston. And this is a young family trying to afford to stay here and make their house, a better size so that they can grow their family and stay here in the neighborhood. So I'm in full support of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julie?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Julie Ryan from City Councilor Frank Baker's office. Our office would like to go on record in full support of this applicant and their proposal. Thank you.
No additional raised hands.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Looks like you have one raised hand from Mr.
Yeah, that
Fleming.
just popped up after we, were you looking to give testimony, Mr. Fleming? If
Yes,
not,
go ahead, please.
Yep, go ahead. You can just state your name and address for the record, please, and briefly tell us if you're in support or opposition.
Joseph Fleming, and I am the owner of 205 Milton Street, which is adjacent to the address. First, I wanted to say that we are not opposed to the family adding living space for their growing family. We're in favor of that. We know it's a problem for the city, and we understand the problem. I was one of the people, I just wanted to make a couple of comments. I was not allowed to speak at the abutters meeting. And the issues I would have raised were the fact that it was described to us as one floor and an attic. And it may have been described to other people as one floor and an attic. And I think in the application, it was described as one floor and an attic. I just wanted to have the board understand that an attic in the building code is not livable space. That's according to the building code. And that was why the building code cited it as a violation of the stories, because an attic is non-livable space. And if it actually was an attic, then it wouldn't have violated the story, because you folks allow 2.5 stories. So I had asked, I tried to get clarified at the abutters meeting, but I was muted. I tried to get clarified and speak with the applicants, but I couldn't. But the attorney has clarified that day. The problem is on the plans, it still says attic. And so that was my question. I said, is it an attic or is it living space? Because those are two separate things. The other question I had was, because if it is an attic, then unless the attic was living space, it also wouldn't have violated the height air limitations, because I think that it was mentioned to have, I think around 4139
Mr.
square.
Fleming, what's your second question? Okay, so Mr. Spitz, do you want to just address that briefly before we vote?
Yeah, so Madam Chair, I was unfortunately, I was not a part of the actual community process. This may just have been an administrative error based upon the architectural drawings as referring to the name of the actual room itself.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see from the drawings itself, there are in that third level, what they're referring to as an attic. It clearly has 3 windows on each side. And my understanding of an attic typically does not have any sort of windows for natural light to come in. I'm not, again, so I can't really comment of the conversations that actually took place referring to this. As you know, they're homeowners. They're not quite familiar with the process. And when they were presenting, they potentially could have made some sort of, inadvertent mistakes as far as language and presenting the actual proposal to the neighborhood. I know they've been very responsive to Mr. Fleming as he did have, some questions that were relayed, and they've numerous times had numerous contacts with him.
Okay,
That's all I can really offer, Madam Chair.
okay, thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second,
The chair, roll, call. Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Panado.
Yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries, and I would just encourage the applicant to continue dialogue with their neighbor.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
The next case is BOA 1416253 with an address of 62 Capon Street. Is the applicant or their representative present?
Yes, I am. This is Divo Monteiro.
Great. Can you put your name and address into the record and just briefly share with us what you're proposing?
First of all, good evening, members of the Zoning Board of Appeal, and good evening, everyone. My name is Divo Rodrigues Monteiro, and my case number is BO-1.
You don't need to repeat that part. We
Okay.
already did that. Thank you.
Okay. I'm the owner of a single-family house located at 62 Capon Street. I would like to request relief from the Board of Appeal for the variance because I added an addition forward to my existing property. My house was built in 1910, and I have been living in this house since July 6, 2002. I want to legalize occupancy as a single-family residence along with an addition to the rear of my house for extending the kitchen and adding 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom. I have supporting evidence for my own case. I have a plan for an architect, a certified plot plan.
Great.
With all the measurement, I have picture for my house and the addition.
Great. Thank you. Ms. Panado, any questions on the plans?
No, it looks like work's already began on this addition.
Yes, this is the addition. I am using the cello PVC sheet because it's good because it will not crack.
Yeah, did they stop construction because you needed a variance?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to continue it.
Okay. And what about the open space in the rear yard? What do you plan to do there?
No, the open space in the
No, in the rear yard outside of the building.
you're gonna stay as it is.
Okay, is there any kind of usable space, open yard in the back? Tell us a little bit about what you plan in the back of your lot. Yeah,
So-
right here where we see all of this.
Yeah, this is I'm doing an addition. My house actually has 2 levels. First level, there's kitchen, 1 living room, and 1 dining room. And on second level, there's 1 bathroom and bedroom. Since then, my family has increased in size because about property into.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking about the interior you're building. I'm asking about sort of how you relate to your neighbors in your backyard. And are you planning to do any landscaping in that backyard?
No.
Okay, well, we're gonna refer this to probably the BPDA in this process for you to talk to them about ideas around sort of how you might pay some attention to that rear yard.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, with that, may we have public testimony?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Eric James to the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant for 62 Capon Street had an abutters meeting on September 6, 2022. They met with the Rock Neighborhood Association, which gave them a letter of support stating that the members of Rock fully support this endeavor as they look forward to ensuring that the residents are given the opportunity to stay in their community. So as of now, we have 2 letters of support and 1 petition with 9 names or 9 signatures on it. We have 0 letters of opposition. And at this time, we are deferring our judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have no raised hands at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with BPDA design review with paying particular attention to sort of the open space in the rear yard and setback.
May I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Panado?
Yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck, Mr. Montero.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1394800 with an address of 705 Massachusetts Avenue. Is the applicant or their representative present?
Yes, the representative is present. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Attorney Russell Chin Law Firm, 400 Hancock Street in Quincy, Massachusetts, representing the applicant Gifu Group, Inc. Gifu Group recently acquired the restaurant formerly known as Grill 705, located at 705 Mass Ave. And this particular restaurant did have a proviso which prevented the allowance of takeout food. So we are before you asking for permission to include takeout as a part of this operation.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
No questions.
May I have public testimony?
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Keisha Santana with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. No abutters meetings was held due to it only being a change in ownership for takeout. And the Civic didn't feel a need to comment on the project since it's only a change in occupancy. And at this time, we would like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have no raised hands. Thanks.
With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Panado?
Yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1429388. The address is 152 to 156 Dudley Street. Is the applicant or the representative present?
Hi, my name is Frehiwat Zaleka. I'm the owner of Ethiopian Cafe and in Jamaica Plain, and my husband own Ethiopian Market in Roxbury. We like to have a good place, and our neighbor in 152 to 156 Dudley Street in Roxbury. Just we wanna remove previous and put our name. We're gonna happy to have this place.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Okay, with that, may I have public testimony?
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Santana with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. No abutters meeting was held for this proposal, but they did receive support from local community members as well as the Roxbury Main Streets. And at this point, we would like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Jessica, any
Robert-
other raised hands?
No, but I see Robert George is on from Roxbury Main Street. So are you looking to give testimony here, Mr. George? Just wanted to check in with you.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. I'm Robert George, Executive Director of Roxbury Main Streets, and we're eager to support this location. As the owner previously stated, they already have business in Nubian Square and an asset to the community. This new location is ideal. It serves as a welcoming archway into Nubian Square coming off of Warren Street. And since they have in the past been such good neighbors in the district, and this location is ideal for them, we urge quick support and approval for they to move into this premises. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
sir.
have no additional raised hands at the moment.
With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Panado?
Yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Next, we have, excuse me. Next, we have case BOA 1424183. The address being 31 Telegraph Street. Is the applicant or the representative present?
Yes, Mr. Secretary, Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Ryan Spitz with Adams and Moranci, business address of 168 H Street, first floor, South Boston. This is a proposal to change the occupancy from an existing one-family dwelling to a two-family dwelling by way of interior rehab only. The building footprint will be maintained. On page 2 of the drawings, it shows the existing interior layout as 6 bedrooms and 2 kitchens, which appears to have been an actual two-family without the legal occupancy. The building consists of 3 stories and a basement, which is a full walkout into the rear yard. The proposed unit 1 will consist of approximately 979 square feet, will be a 3-bedroom located on the first floor, and the kitchen and the living room located within the basement as it is now currently located. Please note that the original kitchen was previously in the basement and will remain in the same location. The proposed unit 2 will consist of approximately 1,103 square feet, which will also be a 3-bedroom located on the second and third floor. A second means of egress has been added to the rear of the property, which resulted in our rear yard setback violation. We are compliant from the rear yard to the actual dwelling at 37 feet, but non-compliant to the egress stairs at 18 feet. What is compliant is 20 feet. We also have a violation for insufficient parking, as we do not have the ability to provide any off-street parking. We would be required to provide 1.5 for this additional unit. Lastly, we have violations for insufficient lot size and additional lot size, as the lot size is currently 1,698 square feet. And we would be required to provide 2,000 square feet for that first unit, which is pre-existing non-conforming, and then additional 1,000 square feet for the second unit that we're proposing. At this time, I'm going to pause for any questions or comments.
Thank you. Ms. Pinato, any questions on the plans?
Can you just go over ceiling heights in the basement?
Actually, yes. So the ceiling height to the basement is approximately a little over 8 feet in the basement.
Okay.
As you can see from the elevation drawing on the right side elevation drawing, if you continue to scroll down, actually, right here. So this actually, you can actually see from here. On the left-hand bottom, you can see that there is a full-size walkout from the basement as the elevation substantially drops going to the rear of the yard. And there's a full door set that allows you in and out access.
And the bedrooms, I know they're not required to have closets, but do you anticipate closets? I think I see windows in all these bedrooms, but what about closets?
Yes, there should be some closets actually in the bedrooms itself. I think that's where the little square lines in the dimensions are being drawn. I don't see any physical like door showing the actual bedroom itself, but that's where they're supposed to be located.
Okay. All right, I don't have any other questions.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? If not, may I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Our office held an abutters meeting on January 9th, where 5 people were in attendance. We did receive one phone call to our office where the resident expressed opposition to this proposal, but have not heard anything further beyond that. With that, we defer to the judgment of this board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do have a raised hand here. Second, Melissa, you looking to give testimony here? If so, can you state your name and address for the record and briefly let us know if you're in support or opposition?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Melissa from Councillor Flynn's office. We would like to go on record in support.
Thanks. All right. I'm going to make you a panelist, Melissa. Thank you. I have no additional raised hands.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion for approval with a proviso that there's no building code relief be granted.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Pinato,
Yes.
the chair also votes yes. The motion carries. Good luck.
Great, thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1405291 with an address of 924 East 4th Street. Is the applicant or representative for them present?
Yes, Mr. Secretary. Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Ryan Spitz, Adams and Moranci, business address of 168 H Street, first floor, South Boston. We're actually here today seeking a deferral for two matters on this deferral we're asking. First one being is we would like to revisit, we've made some substantial changes to the plans. We'd like to revisit a second abutters meeting to show those changes to the community. That's part one. Part two, it was actually just discovered last week that this property is subjected to the Mass Historic Inventory List. So which we're going to have to go through Boston Landmarks Commission and probably make some design changes to the actual structure itself. So based on those two, we would like to request a deferral.
You might also look at that curb cut in the 2 tandem spaces while you're at it.
Yes, so there's an existing, so that curb cut is actually pre-existing. It's called Dean Way. So there's neighbors, and it's within everyone's deed that they have legal access for cars, walking, or any other sort of instance. And the other abutting properties on Dean Way have full access to that driveway and parking in the rear of the yards. But I definitely will also take another look at.
Okay, it wasn't clear on the plans how that was configured.
Okay.
And
Great,
Mr.
thank you.
Spitz, Mr. Spitz, what kind of duration of a deferral are you looking for?
I would say just to be on the safe side, I would say about a 2-month duration, and I believe that's probably what you're scheduling out as.
That's right. We're in May, June, I believe.
Yes. So I know the
So
conversation.
I'll make a motion to defer.
May I have a second? Mr. Stenbridge?
Second, sorry.
That's okay. Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Ms. Panato?
Yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Do we have a date, Samantha?
May 18th, Madam Chair.
Okay.
If it's 2 months out, if that's what's requested.
That's perfect. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
And that's a subcommittee hearing again, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next case.
Next is case BOA 1415359. The address being 457 to 469A West Broadway. Is the applicant or the representative present?
Yes, this is Doug Stefanov, architect, business address of 423 West Broadway, Suite 404. Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you for your time this evening. This is a request to change the zoning for the commercial space of this mixed-use building. I first would like to ask that we strike and remove the request for the gym fitness area as a proviso that was proposed as a use that is forbidden. And with the community process, they found that a grievous to their condition. Therefore, we're going to remove that, request that be removed from this. And the focus of this request is the conditional use of the bank on the left side and the retail bakery core in the middle, which are both conditional uses in this district.
Okay, so you're only seeking a conditional use for the bank and the retail, correct?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board? Okay, do we have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. We've had a long community process with this. Our butters meeting was held on January 3rd. Very well attended, 27 residents were in attendance. The community was very outspoken that they did not want a gym at this location regarding concerns about noise and vibrations for those who live inside the building. The other two uses residents seemed okay with. And that's all the information I have at this time. I will defer to the judgment of this board. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have no raised hands, Madam Chair.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Panato.
Yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Thank you.
all very much for your time.
Next, we have case BOA 1387131. The address being 359 to 369 Huntington Avenue. Is the applicant or representative present?
I am. My name is Jim Russo, working for Millennial Foods, doing business as Be Good Restaurants. I would like to remove the proviso allowing takeout in this location as we've changed ownership from Be Good LLC to Millennial Foods, doing business as Be Good. Same Be Good, same everything, nothing's changed, no construction.
Sounds good. Any questions from the board?
No.
Okay, with that, may I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office like to defer to the judgment of this board. Our office is unaware of any concerns. Applicants sent flyers out to the community, and the local civic association said that they did not need to meet with them. We've had no concerns raised. With that, we defer to the judgment of this board. Thank you.
Madam Chair, no raised hands. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Panado,
Yes.
Chair also votes yes, motion carries. Good luck.
Next, we have case BOA 1387128. The address being 84 Summer Street. Is the applicant or their representative present?
And Jim Russo from Millennial Foods, Be Good Restaurants. Second verse, same as the first. Like to remove the proviso allowing takeout in this location, change names from Be Good LLC to Millennial Foods LLC Incorporated, doing business as Be Good. That's it.
Sounds good. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take public testimony.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. This is Chu from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, we would like to defer to the judgment of the board. Oop.
No, disappeared.
We lost Chair,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
I think he was going to articulate that our office is unaware of any concerns at this time.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Madam
Okay,
Chair.
Councilor Flynn's office.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Council President Flynn would like to go on record in support.
Thank you. I have no additional raised hands.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Panado,
Yes.
the chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you much.
Next, we have case BOA 1414388. The address being 152 Canal Street. Is the applicant or their representative present?
You have a raised hand here. You can unmute yourself if you're on the panelist side. Just state your name and address for the record and just briefly tell us
Sure.
what you're looking to do.
Sure. My name is James Green. I'm an attorney at Rubin and Rudman at 53 State Street in Boston, and I'm here on behalf of J&O Parking, the owner and operator of the parking lot. I believe Gennaro Angiulo may be also on. But this is a parking lot that's been in operation between Canal Street and Friend Street in the downtown north area of Boston. It's been a parking lot since 1967 and has been subject to Board of Appeal review approximately 9 times. The tradition for an open space parking lot is the Board of Appeal usually grants the conditional use permit, but it's for a term of 4 years or 3 years. So the last few Board of Appeal approvals have been for 3 years. We're seeking another 3-year term, which would bring us to December 2025, unless the board wants to extend it further. At the last Board of Appeal meeting, hearing in 2019, the board asked that the project or the parking lot be subject to further design and landscaping and improvements, which we did. During the pandemic, we hired Ryan Connor, an architect and planner, to incorporate some landscaping and trees on Friend Street. We couldn't do that on Canal Street because of the location of the MBTA tunnel, but we did get the landscaping accomplished, and we also added some wrought iron fencing, which would cover the security fencing on the lot. This lot is a tendon lot. It's not a patron parking only. An attendant is there from 7 a.m. in the morning till 6 p.m. It closes at night. and it's only open at night if there's a garden event, and it closes 1 hour after the end of the garden event. So it's used for parking for visitors in the area and businesses. We've had support from a number of businesses who park there, approximately 40 to 50 people. My client intends to also improve the signage, but that's dependent upon BTD approving that. BTD approves the signage and also the parking rates. So if the board does approve this, we intend to go to BTD and streamline the signage and also improve the attendance booth, which is on the lot, and to make it more attractive. We have met with the West End Civic Association 4 years ago, had their support, entered into a good neighbor agreement with the Civic Association, and they have also reviewed this again this year and indicated that they have no opposition to this. And therefore, but be happy to take any questions from the board, Madam Chair, or members of the board.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Just to clarify, is the landscaping completed or is it underway? It's hard to tell by these pictures.
The landscaping totally complete, Jim.
Okay.
Thanks, Gennaro.
You're welcome. 3 trees were planted. They're all the salt-free trees. The mulch was laid down, the loom was laid down. The fencing and the gates are all upgraded. And like Jim stated, all the new signage is up. We're just waiting for the inspection, and the booth has been completely restored and the city signed off on the permit.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
welcome. Thank you, ma'am.
With that, may I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. As you heard the applicant mention, they did some community outreach, flyers went out to abutters, no concerns were raised. They went on to meet with the West End Civic Association, which submitted a letter of support. With that, we defer to the board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Flynn's office.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. Council President Flynn would like to go on record in support based on feedback from neighbors and the West End Civic Association who provided a non-opposition letter. Thank you.
And I
Thank
have
you.
no additional raised hands.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve for an additional 3 years.
Okay. Can I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Panado,
Yes.
the chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Good night.
Next, we have case BOA 142-1227. Address being 331 Hanover Street. Is the applicant and or the representative present?
Good evening, Madam Chairman and member of the board. My name is Kakada Lee, the owner of Sweet Boba. I'm here seeking to remove proviso from China House to Sweet Boba, and I'm not doing any renovation. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Okay, hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Our office held an abutters meeting on December 27th. I'm told that abutters were in support of this proposal. The applicant then went on to meet with the 2 neighborhood associations in the area. NURA offered a letter of support, as did Nunic was in support as well. With that, we defer to this board. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure I have no additional raised hands.
Thank you. And can you confirm, can the applicant confirm there's no exterior work either?
Just no exterior work.
Okay. With that, may I have a motion?
A motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Panado,
Yes.
the chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much for your time.
Next, we have case BOA 142-1272. Address being 23 to 27 Tyler Street. Is the applicant and or the representative present?
Yes, I am. Hi, my name is Nancy Lowe. My address is 32 Cedarwood Road, Jamaica Plain. I'm representing the owner, Soo-Hae Lee. She currently owns a restaurant at 70 Tyler Street. She would like to open a second restaurant at this location at 25H Tyler Street. She's requesting a change of use from a beauty salon to a restaurant with takeout. She plans to do renovation to this space where she will be placing kitchen equipment, a counter, food service equipment. She plans to prepare the food at her current location at 70 Tyler Street. She'll be transporting the food over in food containers that's been approved by the Health Division at ISD. She also will be serving specialty drinks at this location, and she plans to do home-style Asian cuisine and serving with takeout.
Any questions from the board?
Is there any exterior work planned?
She will be putting up a sign on the exterior.
Okay.
So this will be a restaurant and takeout?
It's a food service with takeout.
Okay, okay.
So just to confirm, it's a takeout only restaurant, is that, food establishment, is that correct?
Correct.
Right. Any other questions from the board? May I have a public testimony, please? Councilor Flynn?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Council President, we go on record in support.
Thank you.
Hey, Connor, do you have anything on this? If not, I have no additional raised hands.
All right.
She'll go ahead. Oh my goodness, I am having terrible issues right now. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the ZBA board. My name is Chu from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This proponent has letters of support from the Chinatown Business Association and the Chinatown Neighborhood Council. They've also met with the Chinatown Residents Association. At this time, we would like to defer to the judgment of the board.
Thank you. With thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with the proviso that any exterior changes be submitted to the BPDA for design approval.
Do you want to do design review in general since they're doing interior work as well?
Yes.
Okay. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Second, sorry.
Now I just need you to vote. Mr. Stenbridge? I need a yes or a no. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
The chair also votes yes. The motion carries. Good luck.
Madam Chair?
Thank you.
Madam
Yeah.
Chair, this is Sam. Would that be BPA approved with BPA design review with special attention to the exterior or just general BPA design review?
Well, design review in general covers both interior and exterior. Is that correct?
I thought they just did exterior.
Yeah, I think because they're just changing the design, they're not making any changes to the interior, right? They're just sort of changing it from one use to another. I think the recommendation is just for exterior design review approval.
Does that help you, Samantha?
Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, the
Okay.
motion is to
Okay.
BPDA design review with attention to exterior
Okay.
changes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next.
Next on the list, we have case BOA 143-2015, the address being 230 to 230A Fremont Street. Is the applicant or representative present?
So we do have a raised hand here. 1 second. Kwong, once unmuted, can you state your name and address for the record, please, and give us some information about the project?
Yes, my name is Kwong Chan. I'm the general manager of VB Cafe. We have taken over a subway that used to occupy 230 Tremont Street, and that has been in the works for coming up to 2 years, because we used to have one at 182 Mass Ave near the Berkeley Music. and that closed down back in August. So and then at that time, we expedited this location. Then we find out after the construction's been all signed off, then we realized there was a proviso on it. And then we applied for the ZBA for variance to remove the proviso from Subway to VV Cafe. And also at the same time, extend the hours from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay, with that, may I have public testimony?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. This is Chu from Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. A butters meeting was held for this proponent on June 7th of last year. There were no concerns raised by the community. At this time, we'd like to defer to judgment of the ZBA board.
Thank you. Councillor Flynn?
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the board. Council President Flynn would like to go on record in support based on feedback from neighbors and the Midtown Park Plaza Neighborhood Association. Thank you very much.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
To approve with the proviso that the plans be submitted to the BPDA for design review.
May I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Ms. Pinato?
yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries. And just to confirm, BPDA design review in general, not interior or exterior, guys.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next, we have case BOA 1408708, with the address being 118 Bartlett Street. Is the applicant or representative present?
I am, yes. My name's Timothy Sheehan. I'm the architect for the project. I'm at 9 Wall Street in Charlestown. My clients own this single family 118 Bartlett Street, and currently their master bedroom is up in the attic, and they'd like to make that bigger with dormers. They'd like to do a shed dormer across the back, holding in from the edges. And they'd like to do a smaller shed dormer in the front to get a master bath in. We're under on the FAR, but we have to go for restricted roof district and street alignment, which I'm not sure why on street alignment, but that's basically the project. And we worked with our neighbor on the other side of the party wall closely with regard to the dormer. They just wanted us to hold it further away, which we've done. So that's a project. Just a single family house with a family that wants to make a big, more usable attic, turn it into a master bedroom, a bigger master bedroom with a bath and a usable closet.
Thank you. Ms. Pinato, any questions on the plans?
No, they're pretty straightforward. No, the building footprint isn't changing. Is that
No,
correct?
no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office likes to defer to the judgment of this board. Our liaison had the applicant flyer the neighborhood, and we received 2 letters of support from abutters. With that, we defer to the judgment of this board. Thank you.
Any other raised hands, Jessica?
I have no raised hands at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve with BPDA design review. Particular attention to the dormers.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Ms. Pinato?
Yes.
Chair also votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, everybody.
Next, we have case BOA 1412802. The address being 17 Alston Street. Is the applicant or their representative available?
Good evening. This is Eric Zackerson, architect for the project, 9 Sackville Street in Charlestown.
Do you want to walk us briefly through the project?
The project is an existing single-family home on Alston Street that had a fire a few years ago. Now it's been about 2 years. And the plan is to reconstruct some of the second floor and basically take what was a bunch of very small attic-y rooms on the third floor and make them into a couple of legitimate rooms. Overall, it adds a little area on the second floor, a lot of area on the third floor, a total of 850 additional square feet from what is existing there. And in the end, we'll have a 3,000 square foot 4-bedroom house.
Okay. Any questions on the plans?
The plans are adequate, pretty straightforward.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? With that, may I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Our liaison had the applicant circulate a notice to abutters within 300 feet. We did not hear of any concerns related to this project. With that, we defer to this board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a raised hand here.
Any other raised hands, Jessica?
Devon, are you looking to give testimony here? If so, can you state your name and address for the record and tell us if you're in support or opposition?
Yes, I can. It's actually Jennifer Hurley. Sorry, this is my daughter's computer. We're at 17. I mean, we're at 31, and the gentleman architect identified Sackville Street. I believe he meant if this is about 17 Alston Street, that's what we wanted to talk about. I spoke to neighbors on the street. I don't believe we received any notice of an abutters meeting. There are several people that have concerns. There are 4 things listed on the appeal about the excessive stories, feet, side yard, and rear yard insufficiencies. And none of us know what that's about because we didn't know about any meeting. I spoke.
Are we on this proposal? This is.
Yes, this is 17 Alston.
Okay. Sorry, all right.
Yes.
Sorry about the confusion. I live at Sackville Street, so I was giving my address. But yes, this is the Alston project.
You just happen to live on their street. Yeah.
It's two blocks away, yes. So confusing.
Okay, so do you want to continue, Ms. Hurley?
Yes, so several of us did not receive notice about the meeting to understand what is being done. Not that we want something done. It's been an eyesore for 2 years. We've been waiting. They don't, like I've complained, they don't take in the trash. There's raccoons living there. There's been complaints to the animal board. And so just no offense, it has not been a good neighborhood situation. And then we get a notice that they have 4 different violations that they need to change, but we don't know what they are. Certainly nobody, all of us on the street want something done to this house, but we just need more information. So I apologize if they say that people got abutter notices. I don't think there would be 4 people that I spoke to on our street that are directly next to them that didn't notice.
Thank you. That I will leave that to ONS to figure out. And I would encourage the applicant to just engage in dialogue about it. With that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with BPD's design review and just sort of for the applicant to go back and sort of review the violations. I think most of them are pre-existing with the neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't think it's a opposition per se. I think it's they want to understand what it is.
Right. And certainly we always want to encourage folks to be good neighbors and maintain their properties.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge.
Yes.
Ms. Pinato.
Yes.
The chair also votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you. Is there any way for me to put my phone number out for people to reach out, the neighbors?
I mean, I think you can in the chat if you
want to drop it
I'll just put it in the chat. Yeah, thank you. We'll do that.
Next and last on the list, we have case BOA 1434811 with an address of 18 to 20 Meridian Street. Is the applicant or their representative present?
All right, if you're on, can you raise your hand? If you're on for this project?
Antonia Noguera, perhaps?
What's the name? Okay, I'm waiting for. Oh,
Mr. Zackerson, I'll say that Ms. Hurley, he is still waiting for a phone number if you want to drop that before we end. Okay, given there don't seem to be present, I will suggest a deferral. If anyone would like to make that motion.
Motion for deferral?
A second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Panado,
Yes.
the chair also votes yes, motion carries. Good luck. Thank you.
What date are we deferring it to?
Oh, that's a good point. Well, they're not here, but you, Samantha, you choose.
Do we want to give them until the next date, Steph?
So if we give them to the next full board hearing, because we already noticed it for that, you want to do that? Or do you want them on for a subcommittee?
I would just move them to the next subcommittee then.
Okay, so that'll be April 6th.
Yeah.
All right.
And who?
Because this
noticed-
is just a this petitioner only notice, right?
Yes, they're just removing the proviso.
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think it's a subcommittee.
Yeah,
So
that's,
we'll reach out to the applicant and let them know.
thank you so much. All
No
right.
problem.
Thank you with
All right,
that.
thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night, folks.
All right.